Normally, I would have shaved and put my contact lenses in before I recorded a YouTube video. However, this time around, I think I'm just going to skip that this time because this is kind of a video. It's sort of time critical because, we're in a situation right now where WWE is pretty much screwing over its fan base once again. Gee, surprise, surprise, surprise. It seems like, ever since Vince McMahon left, everything has been going completely to shit. I never thought I would, really be wishing that Vince McMahon was back in charge, because I remember back when he was running the place, things weren't so great, but oh my God, it's gotten so much worse since he's left, ay, ay, ay. And what's pissing me off about the company now is, here, I was thinking a lot of the stuff that was on Peacock's streaming service, was going to be on there till like March, but no, really, they're in the process of deleting almost most of everything wrestling related that's on there right now. So, and just like 2 weeks ago, say 3 weeks ago when I was on there, yeah, I had seen a bunch of things were scheduled to be deleted by, after December 31st. But when I went on there today, it's like, geez, now it's almost every single damn thing on there is getting deleted by after December 31st. I'm like, what the freaking hell? Now I got to binge watch freaking 4 months worth of shit that I don't really want to watch, but because after this, God knows how many years it's ever going to be before they ever bother putting it up somewhere else, now it's like when I checked the site like 2-3 weeks ago, they weren't saying anything about WCW stuff was getting deleted. Now it's like, it's everything, practically everything wrestling related is getting deleted off the damn site, It's like, it's not a matter of what's getting deleted. Now it's like, what's not getting deleted, I go on there and it looks like, to me, the only thing, I'm not saying that like I did that. I went through real thoroughly and checked every single thing, but it's like, from what I'm seeing so far, the only thing I'm seeing that's not getting deleted after December 31st is the NXT Premium Live events, the WWE SmackDown episodes. They're being kept on there, fortunately. Now, for some reason, they're keeping. I'm surprised they're not deleting this next thing, because they're deleting everything else. So why aren't they deleting this? Maybe they really are. They just forgot to put it on there that they're deleting it. They don't have like World Class Championship Wrestling from the 1980s that was filmed. It was always filmed at like in the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. That is actually not marked for deletion. That they actually still have up there. They're keeping the episodes of Saturday Night's Main Event on there. But let's see if there's anything else I can think of offhand that's being kept on there. But no, it seems like now, it wasn't like this like 2-3 weeks ago when I checked on there, but now it's like pretty much everything is being marked for deletion. So I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, So everything, like all those episodes of like NWA Championship Wrestling from the 1980s, all those episodes of WCW Saturday Night, WCW Nitro, all those episodes of ECW, they're all deleting those things after December 31st. Now it seems like now they actually are keeping. You remember back when like WWE they had that WWE/ECW, those shows from 2006 through 2009. Those are not marked for deletion. But who knows? Maybe they just forgot to mark them off as they're going to delete them, because they're deleting everything else. So why not put that down? So after December 31st, they have marked down as WCW Thunder. All those things are getting deleted. And let's see, the AWA shows, that's being deleted in a few days. NWA Mid-South Wrestling, NWA Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, that's out of here in a few days. Smoky Mountain Wrestling, that's gone. Those WWE events that were cable TV specials, like, WWE at the Spectrum, WWE at Boston Garden, WWE at Maple Leaf Gardens, like those episodes, WWE at Madison Square Garden, all those episodes of of those cable TV specials that they had on there from 1973 through 1997. They're deleting all those things. WWF Primetime Wrestling, all those episodes that they had from 1986 through 1992 or 1993, whichever it was. I think it was probably 1992 that they had that on, because then after that it went to WWE Raw. That's all marked for deletion in the next few days. WWF All-Star Wrestling from the 1970s through 1982, they had those things out on there. That's all marked for deletion in a few days. WWF Superstars, they had that. Lots of episodes of that from 1992 through 1997. That's all marked for deletion in the next few days. And another thing that pissed me off, the one that I was talking about, like, oh, now I got to binge watch 4 months of this crap that I don't really feel like watching before it gets deleted in 4 days. It's marked for deletion. Is WWE Main Event. Now, like 2-3 weeks ago when I checked the website, they were saying they were deleting everything from that series from 2014 through 2018, but the episodes after that, they were keeping on there. But now they're saying, oh, we're deleting every single freaking episode, all the way through the December 25th episode. I'm like, geez. Now I was like 4 months behind on that. Now, I know that, okay, yeah, for the most part, most of this show is a recap, but they do tape 2 matches exclusively for that show every week. And it's good. So I always liked WWE Main Event because, I mean, it was a fun show, I thought, because you get to see people on there from Raw and SmackDown and NXT even sometimes, you know, that don't get a chance to be in matches on Raw and SmackDown all that often. Or you even get to see people from NXT going up against Raw and SmackDown people for the first time, like on the main roster. So it was a fun show to me because you get to see all these people that you don't get to see that often, you know? So that irritates me. So I don't know what in the world is going on with WWE Main Event, if they're going to, you know, I don't know if it's going to be, you know, like they're not going to make it for a while and maybe a few months later and stuff. I had read an article where they said, well, maybe by the first quarter of 2026, we're thinking maybe we'll be able to have some kind of an idea about where this stuff is going, and we'll try to put it somewhere else, but we don't really know. We've got so much on our plate, you know, we don't really know what we're going to do with it, and so hopefully they'll put it somewhere else. But I just think it's a bunch of bullshit right now. The way it's like when Vince McMahon was there, you could get all kinds of this, you know, this old wrestling content from the 80s and 90s and up through the present time, and, you know, on one streaming site for $9.99 a month, and you're getting the commercial-free version, and you on one website. You'd watch it on there. You'd watch it on like basic cable channels like the USA Network, or or you could see it on like local stations, like whatever your local affiliate was for, like, say, like the UPN network or whatever your local Fox network channel is. Now it's like you want to keep on top of all this crap that's not even as entertaining as it used to be. You know, now it's like you got to pay $30 a month plus tax for ESPN Plus. You know, if you want to watch the premium live events, you got to subscribe to ESPN Plus. You got to pay $18.01 a month, you know, with the tax to get Peacock TV. You got to do that. Plus, you still got to get, you know, the regular cable channels and all that, and whatever. You got to pay what is it, $19.01 a month or whatever, $19.05 a month for Netflix. You want to get the commercial-free version of Netflix so you can watch WWE Raw. I mean, it's just freaking bullshit, you know. And then you got to watch the weekly show, WWE Evolve. If you want to see that, well, they don't have a paid version of their streaming site, so you want to see it, they go on commercial breaks, like over and over and over and over again. You don't even have the option to get the commercial-free version, even if you want to. So you got to pay all. It's like, what the hell is this? You're paying like freaking like $70 a month, if not more than that, you know, just to keep on top of all this crappy content that it used to be. You could watch all this stuff for $9.99 a month plus tax when Vince McMahon was in charge. Now it's like, oh my God, it's like enough to drive me to freaking drink and stuff, because it's like, and it's weird because it's like when I used to watch this stuff in the 80s and 90s and even the early 2000s, it was fun to watch back then. Now it's like, it just seems like it's a chore to keep on keep on top of this nonsense, you know? Ugh. And it's like, now, when I used to watch this stuff in the 90s, when it was entertaining to watch, you know, I'd watch it every week. It never occurred to me one time, not one single time did it ever occur to me to like, oh, you know, I never thought, oh, this stuff is so damn boring that like, you know, I gotta be like under the influence or something to watch it. But now it's like, I think that every single week. And I don't know what it is with me. It's like, if I'm like obsessive compulsive or something like that, I figure it's some kind of OCD thing with me where why do I feel like I gotta watch it every week? You know, I don't know. You know, I've been watching it since like 1985 and like it sure as hell doesn't compare to like the 80s and the 90s, the way it used to be in early 2000s. It just seems like to me, once WCW went out of business in 2001, it's like almost like WWE just kind of like seemed to like stop trying, you know. I don't know. It's like it's just not like it used to be. So I don't know. So anyway, I'm left right now trying to binge watch the last 4 months of WWE Main Event, only just the original matches. Of course, I'm not watching all those recaps and everything like that, but you know, whatever the original matches were for each week on Main Event, I figure I'll go through them and everything, but you know, I'll deal with it. Now, one thing that they said they're not deleting, but that might be a mistake. They don't have WWE Clash in Paris, or from August, was it August 30th? You know, this year. That's not marked as for deletion, but that could be a mistake because I've seen like things like, say, like you go through, okay, WCW Saturday Night and like their listings. Now they have like There'd be like maybe a few random episodes where it doesn't say anything. Probably they just forgot to delete them. So maybe they're going to delete it by the end of the month. So I guess I got to suffer through that premium live event too that I really don't want to watch right now. But I'm like, okay, I'll watch it because I guess in a few days, you know, it's going to get deleted. And then once it gets deleted, I'm going to, after the fact, I'll kind of wish I kind of had watched it because I'm like, nah. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm so damn just tired of all this bullshit. And you watch these shows, they freaking suck. I swear to God. And so many people are in agreement with me. They're like, you're paying $19.05 or whatever for, you know, Netflix just to watch WWE Raw. And it's like a lot of people, it seems like they think the show sucks now more than it did when you could watch it on USA Network as part of your premium, you know, cable channel and all that, you know. So I don't know. I'm just freaking just tired of the whole freaking thing. So anyway, I'm just venting. That's all I'm really freaking doing right now. I almost wonder if, like, you know, it irritates me that I'm getting behind on all this stuff. I wonder if, like, to force myself to keep on top of it so I don't end up with all this bullshit of, well, now I feel like I gotta binge watch months worth of content that I don't really even want to watch. You know, maybe I should do some kind of like a YouTube channel that talks about wrestling. Maybe like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on. Maybe not so much the storyline stuff, but maybe like, you know, like who got fired this week or, you know, whatever, who people that got injured for real because they fell the wrong way. I mean, it's, you know, because of course you try to, you know, okay, obviously it's staged and, you know, you try not to injure the person you're in the match with, of course. But, you know, I mean, all you got to do is fall the wrong way. And it's so easy to do. And, you know, you're injured and you end up needing an operation. You're out of action for a year or whatever and stuff. It's just good to know these people you don't see on television. Well, what's going on with them? You know, it's like, were they injured or what the hell, you know, like, or did they quit? Did they get fired or whatever and stuff? You know, that way, okay, if I do talk about this stuff on my own YouTube channel, it'll force me to keep up with it and stuff. And whatever. And I don't give a crap if, you know, people, you know, whatever. I'm doing it more like for my own, you know, just so it'll force me to keep on top of it so I'm not left with this, you know, being behind like 4 months or whatever on this stuff or whatever. And I don't know. I figure it's just an idea. Maybe I'll call it, you know, the wrestling party line in the sense like, it's like, you know, you need to be in a partying kind of mood and stuff. You need to be like under the influence of God knows what just to suffer through these shows because they're just not as not as entertaining as what they were years ago and stuff. I can like say just pick up go to some random episode of like say WCW from 1996, and I think it's entertaining and stuff. I watch it, it's entertaining. But now you watch it now, it's like you feel like it's like it's a chore going through these things and stuff. But anyway, that's just my take on it. That's just my little rant for the night and whatever. And if this video resonates with you, I guess I'll just say, well, give it a like and maybe subscribe to the channel, and take care.